everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you how to make the TikTok logo out of gum paste. And if you see anything that I'm using that you think you could use, if you check the link in the description below, it would be able to help you out. Alright, I'm going to show you a quick little demonstration here on how you can make the TikTok logo for your birthday cake. I'm going to be making it out of gum paste because I am going to be putting this into a cake and I do want it to be able to freestand later down the line once it's dry. So I suppose you could use fondant as well if you're going to have it flatter against the side of the cake, but this is what I'm doing, so here we go. Alright, I started by simply printing out the TikTok logo in a size that I found to be appropriate. I'm going to make this one, I believe it was a 5x7 size. It's going to go on a 6-inch cake that I have double stacked, so it's actually like two 6-inch cakes stacked on top of each other. And I am simply cutting the whole darn thing out. And I know you can't tell because, of course, I do not have a color printer, but it has 3 different shades of color in it. I'm going to go with the more traditional coloring of the app itself, the logo on the app. So where you see this TikTok is kind of black, the one I'm going to be making is going to be white. I'm also going to include the word, and if you notice, I'm cutting it out very carefully. I'm going to leave the top intact. I'm not going to just snip it all the way through, so I'm cutting through from the bottom, and I'm being real careful to leave the shape of it kind of intact. I would highly recommend doing this to you guys as well. This way you get a actual print, like a mold that you can follow of where the letters go. So it'll clean up any type of hesitation or mistakes you might have on spacing of your letters and where they're going to fit together, you see? So now when I cut them out of the white gum paste I'm rolling out here, it'll just all come back together. You'll see it real soon. Alright, first I'm going to start with my main T part of my TikTok here. You probably have noticed that I've already trimmed off the light and dark shadings. That would be the hot pink and the blue. If you could actually see it in color, if I actually put the money into getting a color printer and didn't stay cheap with my little black and white one that I've got going here. But anyway, I trimmed off those pieces and I put them aside. I'm going to use them, so very carefully. Don't mess them up or, get rid of them. I started by, like I said, cutting out my main piece here. I just simply put it down, trimmed it out, and then I moved it over on top of a paper towel so I can make sure it stays nice and safe while I move it around, because I do kind of slide it around here and there. I kind of move them around a bit, probably more than I should. Using the same white again, and now I'm starting with my lettering. I'm using my X-Acto knife. I rolled this out really thin, like pretty darn thin without it being too thin that you can start to see color through it, because white will do that to you sometimes if you're not careful. So I'm just very carefully going through my letters, taking my time, trimming them out. I'm putting them onto the paper towel, as you can see in the lower right there. And then to make sure the letters are sitting properly, I'm putting the cutouts back on top to match them up, because they do get a little distorted here and there. They are a little stretchy and a little soft, so they move. I'm making my O for my TikTok, I'm making my K for my TikTok, and I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. Just keep putting it on the paper towel, put the paper cutout of it back on top, and make sure it all just lines up nice and neat. Okay, I'm moving on to the hot pink parts of the logo now. I'm taking the darker parts, it's the darker part of my lovely black and white printout, and I had carefully cut them out and apart, so I'm just trimming them out as neatly as I can, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water to my main part of my decoration there, and then I'm going to place it back where it belongs. And my actual letters are in the way, so I'm just carefully shoving them out of the way, because you always shove things carefully. Tuck it all in, tuck it all up. If it's a little uneven or anything, I'm going to end up using my knife, my regular old knife, and I'm just using the side of the blade to kind of press it, curve it around. It just smooths it out, makes it nice and neat, it flows a little bit better. And then I'm going to keep on cutting. I've got this piece right here that kind of looks like maybe an apostrophe or something. That's going to go on the end of the TikTok logo, so I'm adding a little bit of water once again, carefully putting it into place, snugging it up there, and you're going to see that the white and the pink are at the same height, so that makes it nice and easy if you're ever questioning where to match up one of your pink pieces. The pink matches the height of the main decoration. Here's my last little piece. It looks actually like a comma, And that's going to match up there, as you see, right next to the top. And again, the top of the pink matches the top of the white, so it's nice and simple, no problems there. I've got my sickle shaped, I guess, here. I don't know what else shape it would be. So yeah, I'm calling it a sickle. My sickle shape here, and that is going to go on the inside of the curl there on the shape. I guess it's a T. So it's going to curve around and then go up on that inside. Once again, the top of the white lines up with the top of the pink. Nice and easy, right? No problem. Use your knife blade, make sure you get it all nice and neat. And the only other thing really that I have to do is add a little bit of the pink and blue to the O in the TikTok. So as you see, I used a circle and I just cut out kind of like a little crescent moon shape using it of the pink, and it was a little bit too long, so I just trimmed it off. It's going to be a little bit more freehand, a little rougher, I suppose, than it necessarily should. But that goes onto the right-hand side, and then that's it. So now moving on to the blue. Same thing as you did with the pink, roll it out nice and thin. Try to get it the same thickness as your white. Cut out your shapes as true as you can do, and then add some water to your main piece, and then press it gently into place. And now the blue is a little bit different, where the pink and the white were the same height. The blue and the white end at the same side on the right. So where the blue ends at the top of the logo, it goes over the top toward the right-hand side, but then it stops where the white stops. All right, so it's kind of like the white and the pink meet up, but never quite touch. So that's how you can kind of measure where that needs to go. Here's another little piece of blue, another little crescent for the O, so now that's completed. Another shape that goes onto the main logo, a giant comma in this case. It's going to go on the outside of that curve there on the left-hand side, you'll see in a second. So add some water, match it up with the edge of the white, because remember it goes to the right of the white, or where the white stops on the right, that's where it lines up too. So line it up, use your knife to smooth out any curves, make it hug right up nice and tight. Looking good. Last little piece there was that other little comma. And now we're moving on. All right, I ended up putting that logo that I just finished onto a black background. It was just a black piece of gum paste I rolled out. I put the logo on top and then just kind of trimmed around it. Basically doing the same thing here with the TikTok, except in reverse. I took the black, made it into a nice little rounded off shape, kind of rounded off rectangle that fit the size of the paper there that I'm matching up. And then I'm adding my letters to it. I used the paper, like I said before. I held on to it so I'd know how the spacing of all the letters go, excuse me. And once I know where they go, then I can straighten them out. I'm using my little mixing stick there to make sure they're nice and level and even, and just tweak them a little if you need to. Because despite all my efforts, they did not come out perfectly. I am only human, and yes, therefore I must accept my limitations. It's a very zen moment here for me with cakes. I'm adding a little bit of water to the back of my letters to make them stick. And as you can see also, I put it on a paper towel so when I move it around it won't get ruined. Isn't that nice to not ruin your own decorations? So yeah, put these all aside, let them harden up, and you will have your awesome TikTok decorations ready to go for whatever your cake's needs are. So thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help me out. I've got a ton of other videos out there, so please check out those as well. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.